Hey, welcome to Live from Dennis's house. We got another masterpiece this week. It's like 10 masterpieces in a row. Today, we're going to be reviewing and discussing Billy Joel, The Stranger. And my guests, I got a bunch of guests here today. I got Rand Hubiak. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, you did.
Yes. And we got Paul Galasuski, and we got Jacques. I don't know your last name, Jacques.
Paul
Jacques Jones?
Galasuski.
Oh, okay.
Galasuski. Suska Gali.
So, now, remember, go out there. I'm promoting my show this year, so everyone go out there, like my Facebook page, subscribe on YouTube, and we got a lot of stuff to cover here, so I don't even know where to start. But let's talk about the album first.
Billy.
So, Billy Joel, The Stranger, came out September 1977. Where were you at this time?
I was probably throwing a tantrum somewhere in my living room.
Yes. So this was Billy Joel. He had well, actually, do you want to discuss this? You picked the album, so you want to
Well, it was
talk about it?
Everyone always, when they think of Billy Joel, they always think of the Piano Man, and,
Exactly.
and they're like, oh, that's the one that made him famous. But it didn't make him famous.
No.
It only went to 24 on the pop charts. It was a minor hit. And then, yeah, Captain Jack was sort of like a minor FM hit as well, but
Right.
But he was not a household name. And then he did Turnstiles after that, first Streetlight Serenade, and then Turnstiles. Neither of which really did much for the charts. This is the one that really broke
Right.
him.
This was his magnum opus, as they say.
Yeah. This is the one that made him a household name.
Yes, absolutely. This was his biggest selling album. It's still his biggest selling album up to this date. I don't know. But funny thing about this is that, it had so many hit songs.
Oh, yeah.
Off of this. Every song was great off of this. And, so many hit songs. But none of these songs were number one. You got Moving Out, The Stranger, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, She's Only a Woman, blah, she's always a woman, blah, blah, blah. But none of them ever became number one. But Just the Way You Are, which was it?
That was number 3.
It won Grammys for Record and Song of the Year. So now I want to know what the F is the difference between Record of the Year and Song of the Year.
Record has to do with the recording. So that's like the cumulative process, all the instrumentation, the arrangement, the singing, and the actual writing. Song of the Year is like the actual written form of the song.
You get that, Paul?
I got it.
All right.
I wasn't
even
I'm
aware
still
I was going to be
cloudy on
quizzed, and I
this.
knew the answer to that.
I don't know,
Where's
but
the lap dancers?
yes.
Right.
So there was a lot of great musicians on here as well. Paul, are you a big fan of the drummer?
Absolutely.
Liberty DeVito, I believe the guy's name is.
Amazing drummer.
And they have a lot of they have Steve Kahn, the great guitar player, on here. Hiram Bullock. Who
Actually,
else?
I have to say, Jock asked who recorded bass on this album.
Doug Stegmeyer.
Oh yeah, look at that. You knew that?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know Doug Stammer. I do know Hugh McCracken is playing guitar on this. I went to school with his brother, Phil. Do you know him? Get it, Paul?
I was waiting for I knew there was a joke with that name, McCracken. I was like, wait. If I could just think of the joke, you beat me to it.
I've been waiting for that all
You have
day.
a script.
So, it was and this is, I think this is when he started with producer Phil Ramone,
Yes.
too, with a big
Yes.
collaboration, I think, for 10 years at least.
Up Through the Bridge in '85.
Right, right.
And the few new tracks on his greatest hits album was also Phil Ramone.
Yeah, so, it's an awesome album. Oh, let's get right to the tradition. Paul knows the tradition.
Yes.
We have to
Yeah,
smell the album. See if that takes you back to 1977.
Oh, it smells like Long Island. No, I'm kidding. Actually, it does.
It's close. That was kept in Queens, New York. That's where I got that album, and I kept it in there. And
Oh yeah.
so actually, yes, he was born in Hicksville. You mentioned Levittown, but I believe it was
You're
Hicksville.
right. It was Hicksville where he was born.
And that's where my
smell
brother-in-law lives right now.
Jock wasn't born yet.
It smelled like
Are you
a
serious?
sensation of like my dad's testicles or something. I don't know, because I was 1980, so I still
Give me that record back then. So, he had a very interesting life as well, Billy Joel. You want to talk about Billy Joel a little bit here? Anybody know any interesting facts
Did you want to bring
about
up
him?
what you were saying earlier about the
Go ahead.
depression or not? No?
No,
I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Paul thinks that Billy Joel's going to be listening to this, and he's not going to let him play on his albums, so he doesn't want to badmouth him. But I will.
But it isn't bad mouthing. Billy Joel's talked about it.
Exactly. He wrote a song about it.
Only Human
Yes.
was his Get Over It anthem.
Yeah, so, all right, I'll start talking about it, and you guys jump in. That
Sure.
He suffered from depression for many years, alcoholism and all of this, and he tried to kill himself once by drinking furniture polish, and he left a suicide note, and, like, his friend found it and came and got him, and then he went to mental hospitals, and he's been in and out. He's been to the Betty Ford Clinic, and but I think he's okay now, and he's had quite a few marriages over the years. I didn't even know this till I was looking this up yesterday. Did you know he had a first wife before Christy Brinkley?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that story. You want to talk about that story?
No, actually it's something more funny and personally relevant.
Okay.
I knew this girl at Penn State. Okay, her name was Debbie Damp. Is her actual name. Not shitting you. But now she goes by Debbie Dampierre. But she is. Well, I don't know if she still is, but she was dating him for a while.
Billy Joel?
Billy Joel. If you look
Wow.
for pictures of Billy Joel and Debbie Dampierre.
Wow. Where'd you get that name from?
I guess it's French for damp.
Debbie Dampierre?
Dampierre.
Wow, that's fancy. So I hope she's not listening either.
Yeah. She doesn't remember me anyway, probably. I doubt
She won't now.
remembers me.
Yeah, like all of these songs off of here. What's the song? Just the Way You Are. Like back then, everybody in the world was using that as their wedding song. And Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. That's like
Great song.
That is a
the
great
great sing-along. Everybody knows the words to that. Come on, let's do it right now. Brenda and Eddie were the popular city, and the king and the queen of the prom.
Riding around with the car top down and the radio on. Nobody looked any finer.
All right, that's enough. But
It's like, all right, shut up.
that song, that Billy Joel says that he was influenced by side 2 of Abbey Road, and that's why it's kind of like a medley of 3 different songs. And does anyone? All right, this is the
I
question.
saw him
Nobody
play
knows
the
this
entire
one.
second side of Abbey Road.
Did he really?
He was doing the speaking tour in 97, 98, but they had a piano on stage just in case people asked for certain things, and they said, "What's your favorite thing to play?" And he played the entire second side.
Wow, just him on a
just him on
piano?
a piano.
Wow, I'd like to have seen that. I've never seen Billy Joel live.
Well, it wasn't a concert though. It was this
Yeah.
Q&A thing, really.
Wow.
So I've never seen him live actually either.
He plays like every week at Madison Square Garden now.
He never calls me that.
Yeah.
On a side note, Mr. Jock here has played with Billy Joel.
Is that true?
I have.
Did you think you'd keep that from us, Jacques?
I have.
Tell us about this. Come on.
2004. It was Madison Square Garden,
Damn.
Billy Joel, and Elton John.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you were playing bass on stage at Madison Square
I
Garden.
was the bass player.
Wow.
On that show. And
That is
it was,
awesome.
It was awesome. It was when I came to that realistic part where, wow, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
You know, there was nothing I could think or who I could play with where I was like, wow, where do I go? What do I do?
And that's
It
when you
was-
found Rand and Paul.
I
And,
met Rand and Paul. It was like, oh my god.
And you're like, I don't need to make a living. I can just record for free.
You know, I met Rand, and all of a sudden, unicorns started shooting rainbows out of their ass.
Well, you know, because I write at least one song a week with the word horror in it. So why would you want to perform with anyone else?
But yeah, it was a one-off show.
oh, yeah?
And
You played bass for both of them?
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a duet show,
Right, right.
and
Mhm.
it was surreal. Like thinking about it now, I'm just like, wow. And I just remember being so scared.
Did you F up on stage?
Being this young kid and just
How old were you at the time?
at the time.
Well, it was
my
2004. It was
God,
10 years ago,
This
right?
was, what, 20 maybe?
24?
Wow. That's something.
And just being so scared,
Yeah, I can imagine.
like messing up, and
Did you mess up?
oh, absolutely.
Did Elton come over and say, you look tense, let me give you that?
Well, no. Here's the crazy thing about that. I never spoke or talked to them before or afterhand.
Oh,
you know?
yeah?
you know, maybe in like passing, it was like, you know, and
No
in
rehearsals? Oh, you did have rehearsals.
Yeah, well,
okay.
we would have our sound check, which, you know, we rehearsed the songs in, and we'd be like, no, you do this, you know, whatever. And I'm just like this kid, just a deer in headlights.
Damn.
And it was one of the scariest moments of my life.
Nah.
You know? And but you know, I have to say, with the great teachers I had, you know, Ryan Thompson and Jared Veasley, prepared me for that kind of stuff. But it let me tell you, man, I was scared that whole entire night, man. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, please play the right thing. And it's funny because you can actually look up the video and you can see me.
Oh, yeah?
And you see me with my head down the whole entire time. And it looks like, and everybody who sees it says, man, you're really into what you're doing. You know, you're just like in it. You're doing it. And I'm really just standing there, like staring at my feet, shifting the charts with my foot. Over because I'm just like reading it.
They let you have charts on Madison Square Garden stage too?
Well,
Everyone
I
uses
don't
them now.
think you're supposed to, but
Stupid not to. Who's gonna remember all those songs?
at the time, you know, it's just what we did. You know?
Yeah. So what else? I hear you played with Miley Cyrus as well. Is that true?
I did.
Wow.
That's pre-twerk, though.
Yeah,
that was when she was
back
Hannah
when it
Montana
was
still?
Hannah Montana.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Back when I was signed with Disney. I was signed with Disney for about 4 years.
Wow.
And she was one of the acts that I toured with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what are some other Disney people? Who's my daughter?
Demi
Somebody get my
Lovato.
daughter. Oh yeah! Oh my God!
You know, worked with her for a little bit. Selena Gomez, that was after me. I was only with Disney for about 4 years.
About
The
Annette
majority of the
Funicello.
time-
Did you tour with her?
Oh, I wish.
Didn't she die in like 87?
I think she just died recently,
Oh,
or maybe she's
really?
not even dead. Is she?
Well, that's not even funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right, don't be hogging the show, Jacques. It's Rand's show. You can have your own show. Come
I'm
back.
sorry.
I'm fine letting them have
I'm sorry. He's got to ride on my coattails.
All right. Before I forget, the one thing I want to talk about: scenes from Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
The restaurant. Nobody knows where that restaurant is.
I do not.
The name of the restaurant. I actually have it right here.
Wow, really?
The only person in the world who knows this. It's called Fontana di Trevi, and it's right across from Carnegie Hall. And that Billy went there all the time during the 77 concert. And while he was there, the waiter actually said to him, a bottle of red, a bottle of white, a bottle of rosé instead. And that's where he got it from. So,
Wow.
it's amazing. Rest is history. All right, let's
It's a
talk.
hard song to play, too.
And
The piano
well, speaking
rolls.
of that, we just played 2 songs. We played what did we play? "Moving Out," Anthony's song, and we played an original by Rand called "Sad Sack," which is a great song. You're going to be listening to those later. My wife heard me playing it last night and learning the song, and she's been whistling the song all day. So it's a good song.
Can I say my fun fact about Moving Out, Anthony's song?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you probably know this story, right?
I don't
So
know.
when he was first writing the song, it was in a major key, not a minor key, and it was Anthony works in a grocery store, saving his pennies for someday. And he played it for Liberty DeVito, the drummer, and Liberty looks and he goes, "Fucking schmuck! That's Laughter in the Rain by Neil Sedaka." So he had to go back and rewrite it. But anyway, this just came out 3 weeks ago. It's called Sad Sack EP, the Random Hubiak Band with Adam Silverstein. And, you can get it on iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, any of that. Or if you find me on Facebook and want a hard copy, I got like 700 of these babies. I'm looking to sell them.
Wow.
So, $5 PayPal will get you shipping and handling and everything.
Cool.
So we can talk about somebody else for a
Well,
while.
let's look at this one. Look at that. You notice you look like Ben Stiller on
I
this
do
one.
look like Ben Stiller. I get that. Can I tell you, I had a temp job one time. I had this 2-week temp job, right, at the courthouse in Bellefonte, PA. And they put me in this, like, weird, creepy little back room at the end of the hallway. And there's a door that won't shut. And across the hallway, there's this other door. And there's a guy in a similarly creepy cubicle. And he keeps looking at me like this. And like all week long, I'm thinking like they're gonna find my body in the parking garage. And on my last day there, all of a sudden I'm sitting there typing. All of a sudden I hear, Ben Stiller. That's who you remind me of. Ben Stiller. It's the guy. He spent all week trying to figure out who it was that I reminded him of. Ben Stiller.
Let's all do it.
All right, let's try and whistle this now. Here's
Ready?
The Stranger. Well, let me get some crackers first, and then see if we can do it. Boy, I don't hear you whistling. Very nice. All
Now,
right.
do you know
Just put
that Bob Seger wrote a song called The Stranger that was almost identical to Billy Joel's? At the same time, neither of them knew the other was doing it.
Really?
And Billy Joel's version came out like while they were mixing and mastering the Bob Seger album.
Oh,
and he was
man.
like, he said, my song's too much like Billy Joel's, I have to scrap it. So
Wow.
he never released it.
You never released
Yeah,
it? Wow,
yeah.
I'd like to hear that. See what it was.
I would,
I
too.
bet you didn't have whistling on it.
No, probably not. Philly before
Let's
that.
talk about a little about
Okay.
current events
All right.
while we're here. So,
The news.
it
I love
just
this part. I love
it's
this part.
Valentine's Day recently. Did
Yes.
anyone go see 50 Shades of Grey movie?
No, I already own porn and it's better.
No, because you know why? You know why? Because you know what? That guy needs 50 Shades of Grey. This guy only needs one. I only need one.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds funny.
Me neither.
Yeah, see, that's my point that I wanted to make. That women are
Golly.
going crazy about this. They're going out to see this. They love this. And we've been watching porn since we were 10 years old. We don't need that. That's like ridiculous.
But no, it's funny too. Also, from my understanding, is like my understanding of the story is that basically, and it's not. It claims to be sadomasochism, bondage, B&D, right? But it's not. I have friends who actually do the B&D scene, and this is what this book portrays is not B&D.
Okay.
It's really just an abusive relationship,
Wow, there you
but
go.
that the woman gets off on.
The book portrays that like sexual abuse
Yeah.
is better than
Not.
non-sexual
Yeah.
abuse somehow.
Yeah, well, I heard the reviews all were panning it, saying it was terrible. So I
I'm
don't
so
know, but
surprised.
I don't know. You want to freak everyone out? How about us four just go to the theater to watch it? There's not four guys alone
Well, I
watching that
hope
movie.
they-
But you know,
Wrap on the
we all have to
seats.
wear like plaid flannel and
Next week's episode.
Yeah.
also
We're gonna-
smear Ben Gay on ourselves.
We're all
so
going to
that
wear
they can
hidden
smell
cameras
us.
and we're going to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
50
absolutely.
Shades. All right, so
GoPros.
the next story I want to talk about. There's this Mars One who they have this thing where they're taking applicants to go to Mars, and they're down to 100 applicants, and it's going to be a one-way mission to Mars, and it's going to be 4 people every year that are going to go, and then they're going
I heard about
to
this.
they're going to populate Mars and have a colony there, and they're going to turn it into a show after that. It's going to be a reality show
They're
on
gonna-
Mars.
They're going to try to populate Mars,
I-
is what I heard.
Well, they
I
have
remember
like so
hearing
many
back
people.
in the 80s
Yeah.
that Mars needs women.
Yes. So, if you had the opportunity, would you want to go to Mars? Would you do this? Does this sound like something you'd be
Well,
interested
not as a
in?
one-way trip.
It's a one-way trip. That's it. You're never coming back. You got to stay on Mars.
Do I get to pick who's going with me?
Well, actually, I was thinking about that. I have a whole list of people I would like to send there, starting with the Kardashians and Kanye West, especially.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
really
yeah,
starting to hate him more and more every day. Did you see that they have their baby now in a bulletproof vest wandering around?
I didn't see that.
For a fashion statement, yeah. They had the baby at the Grammys or whatever.
Although,
Right?
for me personally, and the way I met this wonderful man was through my friend Janine and Corey, and it's Janine's birthday today.
Yes.
which-
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Janine.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Janine.
Janine. It'll
We
be
should sing
aired,
to her.
you know, a couple days later, but today's your birthday, so happy birthday.
Well, that's it. We're wrapping up the show now. So, everybody get your cups. Thanks for coming on, Rand. You sound
you for
excellent. You
having
sound a
me.
lot like Billy Joel. Your songs are great. You guys
you.
played great back there.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on. Rand Hubiak. Go check it out. Buy his all his CDs
Random
and
Hubiak.
stuff. And check him out whenever he's around. So, see you guys next week.